Hello, everyone. Mike back here to seeking a little self therapy again. Talk about the situation with Trumpster Fire and the Doge bags. It's unbelievable what's going on. So the Emperor and his boyfriend both have no clothes. Does MAGA care yet? Do they care yet? Do they know what's going on? I guess that's the question, right? It's unbelievable for me to try to wrap my head around. I mean, all of these ways to communicate with each other and to get information, good, bad, or indifferent. And we choose to put all our eggs in this basket. Now, I get it. There's people out there that just are unhappy with their lot in life, unhappy with their station in life, and just as soon see it all blow up and let the chips fall where they may, see if it gets any better for me somewhere, somehow. Those folks have no sense of history. They have no idea what's already occurred on this planet. Because if they did, they certainly wouldn't want to blow it up regardless of how bad their life's been so far. It's bananas to me. So I say that stuff, and I really wonder that stuff to myself all the time, actually. And I have to keep reminding myself that the Jim Jones followers did actually drink the Kool-Aid in Guyana, Jonestown, Guyana. Jim Jones moved his church delegation, his I don't know, his group of folks, followers. Started out as a church following, but moved them all to Guyana, where they built a society physically, actually, where he was in charge of all of it and any of it. And even though he had followers in Guyana that were telling reporters and the congressmen that visited on this fatal day in Guyana in the 70s, they were begging the reporters and the congressmen to help get them out of there. Yet when the shit hit the fan and bullets started flying, congressmen killed on the airstrip, he announced over the loudspeaker, "It's time to drink your juice. It's time to drink your Kool-Aid." That's where the saying comes from. Because those followers all drank the Kool-Aid. Not all of them. A few of them did not. But 900 people died from drinking that Kool-Aid. If you guys don't know anything about this story or about Jim Jones in general or that following, just take 10 minutes, use Wikipedia, look up Jim Jones. It's just that simple. Go to Wikipedia, search Jim Jones. That's it. That's all you have to do. I still don't know how people are so unaccustomed to critical thinking that they fall into something like that. But I'm not, I'm not going to judge. I got my own crosses to bear, trust me. But no, that's wild, right? It really happened, guys. I just have this feeling that so many MAGA followers don't know that happened. Maybe being from the Rust Belt, being in the Rust Belt, I should say, now, I can kind of see how these mega churches in the late 70s, early 80s, these Christian mega churches that would come out and set up giant tents. And eventually, once they got some TV time, they did their business on TV. But maybe that counteracted, folks digging too deeply into what was going on in Jonestown. And maybe the education on such things are different down here. Maybe they don't touch on that at all down here in any way, shape, or form, which is, I mean, I would have never believed that the case if I lived up in Boston still and hadn't come down here to stay. I probably would. I wouldn't believe it if you told me that. Yeah, they teach differently down here. They see it differently. They tell it differently, or don't tell it at all. Um, Bananas, though. I mean, if you think about it, I never would have guessed that to be the case from up there, from up north. But it is definitely the case. I don't know if it's definitely the case. That's just an idea. Maybe that's not it. Maybe they don't necessarily teach it differently, but maybe people's accesses to specific things are limited because of, I don't know, their own education levels, the education levels of the folks around them that bring them up, the things that their parents are teaching them. I mean, I always believe it begins at home. It doesn't begin at school. It doesn't begin at church. It begins at home with your parents. The church and the school are a nice sort of backup, and they're supposed to support your support systems. They're supposed to support your beliefs that you're teaching your children. And they do. That's why they've been around forever. But I don't know. Other than that, just some guesses. Like I said, just some wild guesses. I have no idea. Maybe it's just a mere, maybe it is just a racism thing, and it comes down to that. People would rather not say that I'm racist, but that's becoming more fashionable though these days. I wonder why that is, huh? We should all think about that. Why is that? Why is that becoming more fashionable to be a racist? There's got to be a reason for it, right? All right. So, a couple things, and I'll try to be succinct and to the point, and not have to cut this thing up again. All right. So, Trump's Department of Government Inefficiency, the Doge Committee, staffed by Doge bags, I suppose, right? They fired a bunch of internals general. Those folks are watchdogs. They're supposed to enforce and watch and monitor the rules of governance to make sure governments at all levels across the board are run as uncorruptly as possible. And I think they've done a good job at that. So, because it's never been out of hand like this before. Well, it's out of hand now. It's out of hand now. So that inefficiency department was on full display this past weekend. I can't wait to see what next weekend brings. Because it seems like they got their timing down where they're trying to hit the weekends, late Fridays, do as much damage until Sunday afternoon. Try to excuse it as best as possible without, admitting that they're wrong. But not really changing anything on Monday and Tuesday. And then we start ramping up on the what ifs on Wednesday, Thursday, and then again, Friday night, over the weekend. And that's typically because news cycles, news agencies don't have their heavy hitters, if anybody, working on the weekends. So you're working with a skeleton crew of folks covering that stuff, which is awesome. So now he did away with the internals general. He did away with the Consumer Protection Agency, which is awesome. So that way, we start getting screwed by big companies. We have no protection. We start getting screwed by small companies, or any kind of scam from, say, a prince of South Africa or something coming along and telling you, I need some money to help get me out of prison. South Africa. I mean, this guy has got all the money in the world. Now he wants mine and yours. That's all this is. The budget they've put forth, which looks like it was done overnight by a grad student still working on his thesis, added $4.5 trillion of spending. This is the Republican proposal. This is the regime's proposal. $4.5 million additional spending. And it's the Doge Committee's apparently Trumpster fire mandate to cut $1 trillion out of the budget. I've always been pretty decent at math. I've always had it's always been relatively simple enough for me to figure out. But that sounds like the equation 1 and 1 equals screwdriver. 1 and 1 equals handlebars. 1 and 1 equals, fishing pole. If you're taking $1 trillion out, but you're adding 4.5 in, you're still 3.5 trillion more than you were before this new budget. I don't get it. Where's the efficiency again? Is it when you took laps around the Daytona 500 in that goddamn limousine beast on the taxpayer dime while Kentucky was fucking falling off a cliff? Is that when it was? Or was it when you were taking your jet paid for by the taxpayers and all the accoutrement that goes around being a president, paying for the Secret Service, etc., all the staff, pilots, gas, all of it paid for by the taxpayers? Was that when you were showing off your government inefficiency? What the fuck, people? What do we need to see here? Okay. So, it might have been, you guys might have been showing your chops, I guess, when you were golfing 7 out of the first 20 days of your presidency. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was it. You could say it was efficient to use your own golf courses, right? But that actually wouldn't be true. It actually wouldn't be true. Because you're overcharging folks in your party to golf. You're overcharging Secret Service agents to stay in your properties. You're overcharging the taxpayers so you can fucking golf, you asshole. What's your fucking problem? And what do we need to see before we say, all right, that's as far as I can go with this? I mean, there's got to be reasonably, I get there's people out there unhappy with their station in life and want to blow it all up. God bless you. Blow it all up. But there's got to be enough reasonable people out there that can look at the stuff and say, well, I'm checking out now. I do think for my own, I'm not going to drink the Kool-Aid when it comes over the loudspeaker. In fact, I'd rather not hear it come over the loudspeaker. You're going to, though. Shit like this never ends well. It's short-sighted thinking on everybody's part. So I talked about overcharging the government for all the services Trump is providing with his hospitality outlets. That's a bananas proposition to me in and of itself. That's DQ in and of itself. Yeah. I don't really get it, folks. Oh, and the number, a couple days ago I reported you guys the number, last count was 3,000 IRS agents laid off, whatever, dismissed. The number's actually 6,000 right now. 6,000. And a lot of these folks found out when they showed up to work and all got the same exact identical form letter, incomplete with date and name, incomplete with name rather, of the employee. Just a form letter, so first name here, last name here, you are being terminated due to concerns over your performance issues. Yet the employee's name's not even listed there. But like I said, thousands of these folks got them all at the same time. Please pack up your things and go. That victory lap in the limo beast. Well, Kentucky's in a state of emergency. That's got to drive you guys nuts, right? Each and every one of these things is horrific. Each and every one of these things is, in a traditional political age, disqualifying in and of itself. So having said that, having reminded you guys again of something else that he's done that's been completely disqualifying, look some of it up, man. Just Google the subject matter in and of itself. Did Trump golf 7 out of 20 days? 7 out of the first 20 days of his presidency this term. Did the Dogebags dismiss 6,000 IRS agents, 5,000 FBI agents? Do you know why he put these unserious people, these laughable people in charge of these departments and these agencies? Because they're going to do his bidding. I mean, look at the drunk over defense. Jesus Christ. The guy can't get a story straight because every time he goes out there, Trump's on the fucking phone with him, yelling at him, or somebody is on Trump's behalf. You know, Elon Musk or one of his other Dogebags on the phone with him saying, you can't fucking say that. So he has to go out and walk it back while he's drinking a fifth of gin out there. Watch next time he does a fucking press conference, how many times he fucking reaches down for a sip of that glass. I don't know how you guys don't get it, man. It's really frustrating. I don't mean to sound insulting, but I don't know how else to do this. It's insulting to me. It's insulting to my intelligence. I should say something, but it's insulting to my intelligence that this stuff is happening. I'm insulted by listening to it. I certainly feel dumber after having listened to it. So we got to get our shit together, guys. We got to get our heads out of our ass. We do have a nation in trouble. It's not hyperbolic to say that this flag upside down stuff is real. If you don't know what that reference is, please look that up. Flag upside down. What does that mean when you see a flag upside down on a flagpole? It means your nation's in trouble and you're asking for other countries to come help. It's a code, it's a signal, it's a sign. And my God, we could use that right now. Republicans, if you think he's not going to do all this stuff, you're out of your fucking mind. That's what made good Germans, for Christ's sake. I never thought he'd go all the way. Yeah, I mean, he started pulling them out of their own homes and putting them in ghettos. All right, I didn't think it was going to kill them. Yeah, we started setting up prison camps for them. Yeah, we started installing fucking gas chambers. I never thought he'd go through with it. What the fuck do you need for proof? All right, I'm going to have to end it here for a minute. And, we'll talk soon. Thank you. Bye.